What's up guys, it's Thursday on Our Pizza Gang. I'm Hudson and this week's theme is Christmas. Now for this video I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I normally upload. What I want to do is share with you guys a story that I heard and that I think in this holiday season has a really good message that everyone should hear. So I don't know the story by heart and I want to make sure I get all the details right, so I'm gonna read it, but I'll do my best to make it interesting. So the story begins with a young man standing in the center of his town proclaiming that he had the most beautiful heart in the whole valley. So a large crowd gathered around him and they admired his heart, for it was perfect. It had not a single mark nor a flaw in it. And right then, an old man came to the front of the crowd and he said, "Your heart is not nearly as beautiful as mine." And the crowd and the young man, they turned to him and they looked and they saw his heart. And it was beating strongly, but it had scars in it. There were places where pieces had been ripped out or pieces had been put in, and not all of them fit right, so it was kind of jagged and it didn't look as perfect as the young man's heart. When the young man saw the old man's heart, he laughed and he said, "You must be joking. You compare your heart to mine. Mine is perfect and yours is just a mess of scars and tears." To this the old man replied, "Yes, you have a perfect looking heart, but I would never trade with you. You see, each scar represents a person to whom I have given my love. I've torn out a piece of my heart and given it to them. Oftentimes they return that love and they tear out a piece of their own heart and place it in the empty spot in mine. They don't always fit exact, which is why I have some rough edges. Sometimes," the old man continued, "I've torn out a piece of my own heart and given it to someone who hasn't returned a piece to me. And these are the empty gouges. Giving love is taking a chance. Although these gouges are painful, they stay open, reminding me of the love that I have for these people. And I hope that one day they may return and fill the space I have waiting. So now, do you see what true beauty is?" The young man stood silently with tears flowing from his cheeks. He walked forward and he approached the old man and he tore a piece out of his young and perfect heart and he offered it to the old man. The old man took his offering and he placed it in his heart. And then he took a piece of his old scarred heart and placed it into the wound of the young man's heart. It fit, but not perfectly, as there were some jagged edges. The young man looked at his heart, which was no longer perfect, but it was more beautiful than ever, because love from the old man's heart now flowed into his. So the reason I shared with you guys that story is, number one, it's awesome, it's one of my favorite stories. But number two is that in this holiday season, when we're so caught up in giving gifts and getting gifts, I think it's important that we take a step back and celebrate just being around our family and our friends. And so the challenge is love, because as we heard in the story, love is a challenge. And so I'm challenging you guys to, in the holiday season, just love everyone, because there's no better gift than kindness and being a friend. So if you take the message of this story, the heart, and you really see it for what it is, like, you can make a difference, and that's what the holidays are about. So take the challenge. Hopefully you guys liked that story as much as I did, and maybe you got something out of it. Otherwise, have a nice holidays, and I will see you guys next Thursday.